Overledger being compatible with things like IOTA's Tangle Network or Hashgraph and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So whatever the underlying chain is, if it's IOTA, if it's Golem, if it's Neo, if it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, Hyperledger, Interledger, everything. So whatever the underlying chain is, we're going to sit on top of it and have the on-ramps to it, so to be able to talk, read and write to each chain. So yes, it will be compatible to current and future blockchains. I mean, there could be a new blockchain next year, which no one knows about now, that's being invented. We'll just build the connector, the on-ramp into it, to be able to make the best use of that new blockchain. Yeah. It's more than decentralized, it's multi-chain. So it doesn't just sit across all the nodes in Ethereum or all the nodes in Neo or Hyperledger or whatever. It sits across all the nodes on all the blockchains.
Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. With that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about Quant Network in this one, okay, you guys? So listen, my boy Maximus Crypto the other day, he's been on fire. He's been releasing like 4 to 5 videos a day. Like Maximus is on fire over there. But a couple of those have been quant videos. But one of them specifically, right? He had inputted some information into Grok in regards to Quant Network, the things that they have going on with certain major public and private blockchains, and the adoption curve of that, and what that means for the utilization of the process. And I want y'all to understand what AI does. What it does is, once it's asked a question, especially a very specific question, it gathers all the information all over the web in regards to that particular topic, then fuses it together in an answer. So to truly see what this thing said in regards to, I can't even get the word out, y'all, because it's exciting. Like, we're talking about, for real, especially knowing what you know about Quant Network, to truly see what this thing said in regards to, see, I got it out. Quant Network and the adoption of Overledger based off of the things that it's finding and what that's going to mean. And it was saying things like, not like maybe or if, but I can't even get that word out. Like, y'all, I'm so excited because to hear this is what AI is computing, which means that it's pulling information from the deepest, most darkest parts of secret realm and internet as well, to compute that this company and this product, Overledger, this truly interoperable process of Overledger Fusion and the 2.5 and the roll-up and what it actually can do. Y'all, you stick around for this one. I promise you. Like the title said, you want to own at least one quant. I'm telling you. And that's just the beginning. Not financial advice, just myself talking into a mirror. But here we go, the first part of this, and I will be right back.
The article, I said this part about consider decentralized insurance protocol that accepts premiums from Ethereum, monitors supply chain data, Hyperledger, Bassett, so on and so forth, all automatically within a single smart contract. This multi-party, multi-chain capability enables financial instruments and business processes that were previously impossible. What kind of supply and demand forces would that create for QNT as far as price action is concerned moving forward? Basically bullish. It's bullish supply and demand dynamics for QNT price action ahead, driven by real utility captured in multi-chain apps like the described insurance protocol. Insurance protocol, think about this, ladies and gentlemen, this is so major. Quant's Overledger powering Fusion enables the exact scenario, atomic programmable multi-chain execution across Ethereum premiums, Hyperledger, Bassett, supply chain data, and Polygon claims all in one smart contract. And by the way, we have interoperability with all these. We've seen this with the Quant Developer Hub. It mentions this literally in the documentation. So for one, like it says, this isn't hype. It's live infrastructure for impossible before financial product. QNT tokenomics primer, key to forces. Fixed supply, max 14.6 million QNT circulating, which is 12 million. Rest company held / lock. No inflation, rarer than BTC. Understand that Quant is a token, BTC is a coin. But look at this, utility lock-in usage, how it burns and locks QNT. Impact on insurance-like apps. Licenses, biannual licenses, those that are fiat paid via Treasury to access Overledger Fusion, build those apps, those maps, locked for 1+ years. And like it says here, builders buy thousands of QNT. Yes, thousands of QNT. It's already a very limited supply. So they buy thousands of QNT per protocol. Again, per protocol. One app equals one license, scales with chains and features. Transaction fees. Per transaction, you have that API call. Reads and writes across chains, proportional to volume. Premiums in, claim out, plus data monitoring equals recurring fees, which also equals to high total value lock. That's the TVL equals high burn. A high burn on a very limited supply of a token.
You even hear the excitement in Maximus's voice in regards to the information that he is bringing you guys. Y'all, what Grok is saying, and I'm talking this response was so in-depth and so detailed. It was insane. I know it's a lot of words. Y'all stick around. We got a little bit more of that coming in a second, but I want to tap back in with you guys just to be like, this is truly the opportunity of a lifetime. We're talking about critical financial global infrastructure, things that will allow for the onboarding of this new technology. And by new, it's only about 15, 16-ish, 17-ish years old, okay? But it's now at the point that it's being taken seriously by governments and central banks and multinational corporations. And you have a player like Quant Network that has positioned themselves via global standards and internet protocols to ensure the onboarding of this process seamlessly. No outages, no blackouts, no, oh no's, no, because we are already built in a sandbox. And the only thing we'll do is we'll just open up the doors of that sandbox, and now you have full-on integration into Overledger. Go play. Truly understand and see what that means. And I know this sounds like conspiracy, and I know but this is factual. Like, truly understand. These are things that have already been announced. Quant has been making incredible announcements that I know of, at least for the past 5 years. Just absolutely incredible announcement, but most of these announcements have gone pretty much unheard in the crypto industry. And it's baffling to me, is because everybody in the crypto industry is in it for one reason only, to make money. But they can't see past the hype of a meme or some type of quick, hot pump to actually see infrastructure being laid for the industry that you are so in love with. Truly understand and see that everything that Quant Network is doing will only ensure that any regulatory compliant project succeeds. Because all the rest of anybody out there in crypto webinars, that 19 or 20 million crypto projects out there, because look at CoinMarketCap, like truly see how many it is. It's a ton of them. If you cannot be regulatory compliant and comply to the laws of whatever country or jurisdiction that you are trying to interoperate in, you will not exist within the borders of that country. Truly see, you will only have a few key players, and those few key players are already moving in the realm of regulatory compliancy. Quant Network is a huge one because they've been at multiple governmental tables helping craft regulation. How do you think Gilbert, think about this. Gilbert made the announcement about staking going live in the UK. That it didn't go live until January, but he made that announcement, like I want to say that was like November, right? But what did he say? He says, now that we have regulatory clarity. Well, if that regulatory clarity did not go live until literally 2 or 3 months, it was like January the 31st, I believe. How would you know that? You had to have a seat at the table, like you have been on multiple tables as far as regulation is concerned globally, alongside of the standard organizing bodies that you're also a part of globally. And literally financial institutional bodies that you're also a part of globally. Truly understand and see what's being laid out right in front of our faces. Quant Network and their software as a service overledger truly is the operating system for the fourth industrial revolution. Somebody, anybody out there, truly do a deep dive on Quant and come back and refute me. Or anything that I say in any of my videos, I beg of you, fact check me. It's mind-blowing, but factual. I really appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all for being valued members of the community. I truly do. You know, this Quant road and like Hedera road, like the utility road, like that ain't hot right now. I could very well be popping meme tokens and talking about crap to people. But I choose my power and I choose my words and I choose my wisdom wisely. I want to be able to one day say, because of people tapping into my channel, I brought them value that now reflects directly in their everyday life. I don't want to bring short-term, quick, unsustainable value, but long-term pain. Or how about, might be a slow grind up, might have a couple setbacks along the way, but one day the price will reflect the value of what's being brought to the world.
Stake QNT to run the connectors / gateways, Fusion, Mainnet, and Coming reduces circulating supply. Then, again, don't forget about the impact on insurance-like app. Multi-chain ops need reliable gateways, for example, Ethereum, Hyperledger, Bassett, Polygon, staking demand surges. Staking demand surges. That's cited from even BitTrue. Result, demand scales with adoption, supply shrinks via lock/burns. Supply demand forces from the scenario, scaling to ecosystem. If one insurance protocol goes live, look at this for yourself. Short-term build launch, dev teams buy 10,000 plus QNT for licenses to connect 3 plus chains. Supply locks activate immediately. Price action trigger 10 to 50% pump. Announcements, for example, Fusion testnet hype already spiked 13%. We see here medium term usage fees with total value lock 1 billion millions in annual QNT fees, 0.1 to 1% equivalent. Staking ramps for gateway reliability, and also the whole thing of a steady grind 200 to 500 as TVL compounds. 200 to 500. Is that just a tip of the iceberg? I believe it is. Long term, copycats explode. DeFi, real world assets, banks build 100 plus similar apps, CBDCs, trade, finance, enterprise fiat inflows. We already see a hint of that with what was recently shared from the Quant Network in regard to them, BlackRock, and what, everybody? Finality. What do we also see here? Circulating supply greater than 10 million via locks. Burns if transaction model expands. Could it go parabolic? Could very well be. 1,000 to 5,000 in alt season, quarter 4, 2025. We're in quarter 4. We're almost, right? We basically are. Yeah, I think we're in quarter 4, 2025. Thanks to say that. Utility is greater than speculation. Again, greater than speculation. All right, bull case math to be conservative. One protocol, 50,000 QNT / year, licenses plus fees, 100 protocols, realistic post-fusion, 5 million QNT demand, 40% circulating supply, fixed supply, inevitable squeeze. I'll say it again, inevitable squeeze. Bear risk, got to reference it, right? Can't just all be good news. Adoption lags, enterprise slow, delayed, not denied. Again, not denied though. Maybe delayed, but not denied. Don't ever forget about that, just in case these things happen. There will be a shakeout. There'll be people in retail. There'll be people who call this thing trash, you name it. And as we see here, not denied. Not denied by who? Bank for International Settlements, European Central Bank, those live pilots. The competition, Circle, Fusion, Rivals, USDC only. Quant equals what? Universal economy. Again, back to the article literally written by who? Dr. Luke Riley of the Quant Network. Price action outlook. Now, anywhere to like 150. Buy the rumor, right? Buy the rumor, sell the Fusion. Call it whatever you want. Fusion mainnet, quarter 4, 2025. $150 to $500 mainnet plus first apps, utility proof. 500 plus equals mass adoption. The regulated liability network, Project Agora, Digital Euro, go live. And I love this. This isn't from Maximus Crypto. This is literally from Grok. They state their own words. I know it's AI. QNT isn't, quote, another bridge. It's the operating system for multi-chain finance. This insurance example is the tip of the iceberg. Demand explodes. Yes, explodes. Supply vanishes. They're telling us that basically to accumulate money.
Understand what that means for price action through not just the networks as sandboxes go live, but also the institutional part, as far as people looking into seeing what Quant Network is, like the truly, what is it tied to and what has it already been named in? It is mind blowing. Like I've seen it blow people's mind firsthand. As I'm sitting here talking about Quant, and I have somebody sitting in front of me, and I say, I want you to Google everything that I'm telling you right now. And I do that, and they be like, wow. And I'm like, exactly. And this is going on right now, simultaneously around the world, and the news outlets are not saying a word about it. Most of mainstream have no clue that this technological shift is happening. They all still think crypto is a scam. What is going to be the onboarding of it is going to be literally, there's going to be a shakeup, and there's going to be stimulus offered over the next few years. And once that happens, that's going to be the onboarding of multiple people into the distributed ledger asset sector. Not to mention that any governmental payment in America within the next 2 years will be digital. Understand what that means. Scott Bassett, the Treasury Secretary, he meant when he said we're looking at about $2 trillion in stablecoin volume by 2028. He meant that $2 trillion in stablecoin volume by 2028.
Stablecoin legislation backed by U.S. Treasuries or T-bills will create a market that will expand U.S. dollar usage via these stablecoins all around the world. And I think that 2 trillion is a very reasonable number, and I could see it greatly exceeding that.
We're talking about massive use of stablecoins throughout the American economy by 2028. That's literally that's about a little over, 2 years from now, which means that there's going to be this ramp up. Understand what that means. You have things like a Fed now that's right in place and ready for it. You have things like a Hedera and a drop that's right in place and ready for it. I got a drop video coming out. Follow me on this. I promise you, Hedera, don't sleep on Hedera, okay? But I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I appreciate y'all for tapping in. If you made it all the way through this entire video, type in Overledger, because Overledger, Quant Networks, software as a service, the thing that is connecting literally every network in the traditional internet of today, and every single blockchain that ever exists, and bringing them into the same time zone. This is the reason why with their patent, that patent is for chronologically ordering blockchain transactions. What does that mean? You're chronologically ordering, which means you're bringing them all into the same hemisphere. And again, taking away every single weakness and putting all the strengths together to flow through this network and to truly be the backbone and infrastructure of the fourth industrial revolution. Truly understand and see. So if you made it all the way through, type in Overledger, because y'all are ahead of the game. Most people, I promise you, they're going to wish they knew Quant Network in November, we're still in October, like 1 day away from November, October 2025. Y'all are gonna be known as whole coiners. I'm not just saying that for real, because the fractionalization, what's gonna happen with the QNT token, most people will ever only own a fraction of a QNT. Truly see the asset that you hold. It is one of the most incredible assets in human history. To the next time, y'all already know. I appreciate y'all. To the next time, peace out.